Hey everybody, doing a quick live to say good morning. I'm on my way to Bandon. We're going to be at the Napa parking lot from 11 to 2 today. And I have updated my pin post to include a whole bunch of other locations here in Coos County that the petition is being kept at. So if you take a look at that pin post and you haven't been able to catch up with us, there's going to be quite a few other places where you can go sign that petition. So go ahead and take a look. I'm going to pop my sunnies on here real quick. I got out of the fog of Fairview. And it's a little bright out, so that's a good sign. I wanted to talk a little bit about the stabbing in New York City, the young woman who was brutally murdered. I don't recommend anyone go watch the video. I didn't watch it, and I'm not going to watch it. It's horrifying. So the reason I wanted to bring that up is to stress how important it is to vote. Your votes matter, and wanton violence is one reason why. That man had been convicted over and over and over, well, wide range of crimes. The reason he was not kept in incarceration, where he obviously belonged, is because of legislators who write laws that enable predators. I cannot stress enough that at this point, there is so much blood on policymakers' hands. And New York City has a major problem. I lived in New York for 8 years, from about 2005, 2006, to very tail end of 2013. And it was a pretty safe city. I loved living there. I love New York. Wow, lady in the road, in the highway, in the road. New York was pretty dang safe. You just didn't want to wander off into a bad neighborhood by yourself late at night, maybe intoxicated or something, but just use the buddy system, be careful, be aware. But for the most part, it was a safe place to live. Fast forward to present day, we've had the Daniel Penny incident, we've had that woman set on fire, we've had this stabbing. There is a freaking violence problem, and this is a civilian violence problem, and no one has a solution. I hate to break the news to Elon Musk, but buddy, you're not getting a colony on Mars until you solve the wanton violence problem. Until we solve for human destructiveness, which often manifests itself in violent acts, until we solve the issue of human destructiveness, we're not moving forward as a species. We're not becoming interplanetary. We are not going to have any kind of peace on Earth until we deal with the violence. And we cannot blame the systems. I run into so many leftists who say, well, they just needed the support. The system failed them. This is capitalism. No, it's not. And I don't want to get into it in this video. If you're really a person who's curious, I can dive deeper into that. Maybe in another video, I'll do a deep dive into that and really reference sources and stuff like that. I know it's good for people to have sources that they can refer to and then share with others. This isn't systemic, this is human. It's a part of, it's a maladaptation of a human trait. We all need to have the capacity for violence. If someone attacks you or your family member, you better have the capacity for violence, or you and your family are going extinct. So we all need to have the capacity for it. But when you have predators attacking innocent, defenseless, doesn't it seem like a lot of women, and I called this years ago, and I know it's not anything new, women and children always suffer the most under the hands of the abusive. The woman who was raped and murdered jogging, the woman who was set on fire, now this woman is stabbed to death. so many women get attacked by men who have been convicted over and over and over of abusive crimes? Why do our legislators write laws that protect these people and continue to let them out? Because we need to understand that these are laws that let it happen. These laws can be changed. So what do? Look up the voting record of the politician that you're voting for. And run for office if you can. I think a lot of us think that running for office is completely like outside of something that a normal person can do. Yes. And that's exactly what we need. We need normal people with logical brains who don't make up excuses for violent predators based on ideology and like the system failed them. Dude, there is no system that can fix certain things. And I say this with a master's degree in psychology. My colleagues know this, but they won't come out and say it because it has broader implications that the psychological and therapy community frown on. Listen, there is no solution. There is no system that fixes a person that is that broken or that miswired. And why do we continue to sacrifice innocent victims to the altar of maybe? To the altar of like, why? And this is my question to like some of you, I guess. Oh, I might be losing service. If I lose service, I'll finish this up later, but I'm taking the back way to Bandon again, and I shouldn't have done that. But so this is my question to people. What is with the preoccupation with rehabilitating absolute monsters? Like people who just hurt everyone that they come into contact with. What is it about those people that some have such a place in their heart for that they're willing to let these people hurt over and over and over again? Like at what point do we just like lock them up in prison? And I know incarceration is super expensive, but what else do we do with these people who go on to stab a terrified young woman to death? Like what else do you do, right? No one has an answer. Our most brilliant minds on the planet are the richest people that can solve any problem they want. You'd think that you could throw money at. They don't have a solution for this problem. No one knows what to do about basically like wanton violence, just unpredictable, unprovoked, unwarranted, just a thirst to hurt. What do you do with that? I think that is the big question that humanity has to come to terms with. I have a way bigger theory about AI playing a role in that. I won't get into that in this video because I get a little tinfoil hatty, but I have a theory about it. What do we do with these people? And what do we do about the legislators who are writing laws that allow these people to do this stuff over and over and over again? The only thought I have is replace them, but like with who? We are going to have to step up, you guys. Like, I'm sorry, man, but the thing with Jeff Merkley trying twice to pass federal laws that would allow men to identify into women's locker rooms really drove it home for me. These people, he's either completely out of touch with reality or he's evil. Like, there is no other, I just can't get over how terrible that is. And so these are the people that are making our laws, who are literally preventing law enforcement from detaining and keeping these people. The bail in Oregon, the way people can do horrible things and then just bail out and skip town. Like, where is the dude from Wildlife Safari? No one knows. And that is Oregon State. That's not our sheriff's fault. That's not our police officer's fault. That's our state. It's our governor and our legislators, our federal senators, and then we have state senators, our House of Representatives. These are their faults, and these laws, the SB laws that they pass that make stuff like this happen, can be changed. We can change. For example, here in Oregon, our police cannot use video evidence to convict someone. They can't use it. You can have a video of a dude raping a woman, and unless the cop saw it with his 2 eyes, it's he said, she said. The video doesn't make any difference. So, that's low-hanging fruit, you guys, and I'm sure there's some ways that we need to craft a law that would allow police to use video to make sure that it is safe. You know, like it's not fake video, we're not compromising anyone's victim's identity. Like, you know, there's safety precautions that would need to be written into that, but that's like super low-hanging fruit. Just let the cops use video. You know, like Tina, Jeff Merkley, Ron Wyden. Why don't you guys do something about that? Like, just those little things are such low-hanging fruit. But it's become obvious to me that our current leaders don't want solutions. So what do? Guys, we have to replace them. So there's a May election coming up. Some Coos County positions are coming up available. The difference that those positions can make are probably small, but collective, they're great, you know? A lot of them are cultural influence. We do have a culture of permissiveness here in Coos County. We do have a lot of people that make excuses and that pander. A lot of that over in Coos Bay and North Bend with the criminal homeless problem. And it's starting to get better. I think people are starting to kind of